have a little look at the assignments now. Your mandatory assignment of 501, which is managing improvement, we'll have a little look at that. Quite a number of you I know are doing managing customer relationships. Obviously a lot of this stuff goes into that, and there's another one I think it's called management communication, which is all about the theories of management, and then looking at your own organisation, and then of course looking at yourself. Every assignment you do has to have those elements, has to have a bit at the top of the theory, has to have a bit about the organisation, and then a bit about you and the application of that in the business. Okay, so if you have that in your mind, then you know you've got to do it. So if it's all full of theory, great, but it's not going to have hit the criteria that you need. If it's all full of practical, it's not going to hit it. So you've got to have some of that theory in as well. So this is the 509. This is an optional unit.
These are the areas that we have to cover on this optional unit, or you have to cover when you're doing your assignment. First of all, conduct an environmental scan of the business environment in which your company operates. Secondly, analyse factors that impact upon the organisation's ability to find new customers and retain existing customers. Thirdly, use the results of the environmental scan to plan strategies to improve the organisation's ability to find and retain customers. Lead the implementation of strategies to improve the organisation's ability to find and retain customers. Appraise the customer supply chain to identify any strengths, weaknesses, opportunities or threats. And use the results of the audit to recommend strategies to improve your organisation's ability to meet customer requirements. What is an environmental scan? Well, some of you, depending on what assignments you've done, may already have done a PESTLE analysis on the innovation assignment. The PESTLE analysis, I've done an example for EasyJet. Political, economic, sociological, technological, legal and environmental considerations, because everyone knows what EasyJet is and it'll give you some kinds of ideas. Once you've done that environmental scan, you can then say, okay, what strategies based on that environmental scan can I use, to improve the company's ability to find and retain customers. That you can provide new destinations and routes from that PESTLE you've done, or from the PESTLE that we've given. Make it easier for customers to book, sell more profitable services or products in flight so they can upsell, offer seat reservations and make it easier for customers. They've got an app now. Acquire bankrupt airlines and their customers as well. Retaining existing customers, making it easier for customers, offer seat reservations, having a loyalty card, make it easier for customers, e.g. apps. So the idea is you start off with your PESTLE, and then you can then look at the different strategies and do that for your own company.
Some of you are working on your 504, or some of you at least have had the tutorials around the 504 about leading innovation and change, and the PESTLE is a good tool for that, really, to identify where you are, to measure up where, what's going on in the UK, and then to try and map that again, what's going on in the industry, and then map that against what's going on into your business to try and identify where those innovations need to come. Focus on some of the challenges that we have within the industry or within your individual bits of business. So some of you would have done it, some of you might be working on it now. 504, of course, you're all going to have to do. So the PESTLE thing, whether you're doing that particular option or not, is a good thing for you to be looking at the BLE, because it just gives you an example of that.
Just wanted to provide an example of a customer supply chain. So what we've done is, just as an example, for a printing company, there's pre-production, production and post-production. That's all linked with customer service. So in pre-production, in order for your customer to get your final product, these are the different sort of departments that may be involved in that, and that's called your customer supply chain. So any one of these aspects, you might decide, okay, we need to improve our estimating, or we need to improve our pre-press, or we need to improve our bindery, or credit control. By actually coming up with your own customer supply chain for your individual business, you'll be answering the assignment. Now, one of the questions was, from that customer supply chain, look at the strengths and weaknesses. So what you could do is, once you've drawn up your customer supply chain, you could then do a SWOT, looking at your customer supply chain and think, okay, what are the strengths, weaknesses and opportunities and threats to do with my organisation? So for example, your strengths of your company may be that you've got in-house pre-press expertise, and therefore an opportunity might be to offer pre-press services for certain customers. One of your weaknesses might be rising costs of mailing, and your mailing partner's always late. So one of the opportunities might be, well, we're going to bring a mailing line in-house. And that's just, again, it's going to be on the VLE, but it just gives you an idea of how you could answer that assignment.
Many of you would have done SWOTs in your first assignment, or either on yourself or you're looking to do it on other things. So it's a good thing, good sort of model to use if you like. But remember, all these models are just a way of organising your thoughts and singling out your thoughts so that you can draw some conclusions from them and some recommendations. And all of the assignments will say, you know, on the mark sheet, to deliver a conclusion or recommendation or both. So remember, you're on that mark sheet all the time. You've got to hit that criteria. SWOT is a good way of doing that, whichever aspect you're coming at.
One of the mandatory units is Managing Improvement, Unit 501, and that asks you to critically assess the organisation's effectiveness in managing quality to meet or exceed customer requirements, evaluate your own ability to manage quality to meet or exceed customer requirements, develop an improvement plan that is designed to meet and, if possible, exceed customer requirements, and implement improvement plans designed to meet or exceed customer requirements. In May, there's an Operations 3 workshop which is going to be talking more specifically about quality management systems. Your answer in your assignment doesn't have to relate to that, because you may have different ways in your own business how you measure quality. Some improvements in relation to customer service could be about getting to know your customer more. Maybe categorising your customers, looking at internal, external ways of doing that, maybe coming up with some customer profiles, understanding your customers a bit better, working styles, maybe training your customer service people on understanding what transactional analysis is. And it could be anything, any improvements from your customer supply chain appraisal or your SWOT. The innovation is defined, or one definition is the application of better solutions that meet either new needs or existing needs, which can be accomplished through more effective processes or services. So innovation can include having an improved process of knowing and understanding your customers. And innovation can also include improved ways of meeting and exceeding your customers' wants and expectations. So these are just some ideas on how you can answer your assignments.